Cancer Awareness Month. It is extremely important that you take care of your body and that you pay attention to your body. Get your yearly physical and please adhere to your doctor's instructions. We have come such a far way in the medical field. Early diagnosis can make such a difference. Today, I have the pleasure of speaking with Yvette Prophet, who was diagnosed with breast cancer, and she is now fighting for her life. And she is also a domestic violence survivor. Welcome to the show, Yvette. Yvette, when did you first feel a lump in your breast, and how long did it take for you to tell your doctor what you were feeling?
Well, in 2019 is when I first felt the lump in my breast. It was a small lump. It wasn't big at all. And it was in the left breast. And I continued to convince myself that it wasn't there. Fear set in. And I worked it away. I willed it away. And that was my first detection that I had a lump under my breast.
Okay. Now, so it's safe to say that you did not have a mammogram. So wait, let's go back. So you felt the lump, and how much time passed before you actually told your doctor?
Wow. I'm going to say that at least a year.
Okay.
At least a year. I had just moved to North Carolina. Prior to moving to North Carolina, when I was here in Philly, I had mammograms and they were fine. And when I moved to North Carolina, I just went on with things as normal. But yes, I did detect the lump in North Carolina. So a year later, I'm at the doctor's office and I have other underlying health issues. I have high blood pressure. I have diabetes. And I was going routinely for those things, but never for the lump in my breast. I never alerted him to it. He wouldn't have known to test me for it because he never saw it. It was blind to him because I didn't bring it to his focus.
Now, how long did you go without having a mammogram?
3 years. That was the limit that I was in North Carolina for 3 years, and I went 3 years without a mammogram. Yes.
Okay. So you tell your doctor, I have this lump. You show your doctor. Tell me what happens after that point.
Whoa. The only reason that I alerted him to what was going on with me is because the lump under my breast became the size of a mandarin orange, and it became hot to the touch. And that's when I said one day, hey, doc, can you look at this lump underneath my breast? And when he did, everything from that point on went extremely fast. I went to the next day an emergency mammogram, to a week later, 3 biopsies on my breast.
Wow.
And then it came back with the report that, Ms. Prophet, you have stage 2 breast cancer.
What was going through your mind at that time?
Fear, anger, denial, confusion. I was so confused because I asked, why me? Why me? But I got my answer. God said, why not you? I have something for you, but it's on the other side. You can't go around it. You can't go under it. You have to go through it. There is something for you. And that's where I'm leaning on my faith, my promise in God that when I go through this cancer, and hear me, when I go through, because I will.
Right.
It's something for me, something so great for me. And that's
awesome. Sometimes we go through situations, we go through that process, and it is so uncomfortable. The process is uncomfortable. Okay, listen, I don't like it. It hurts.
Yes.
I don't want this test anymore. But we come out victorious. But we have to get through those processes, which is so hard. So you do have 3 sons. So when you found out that you had stage 2 cancer, how did you tell your children? How did you tell your mom? How did you tell your other family members? Did you gather them all in one place at one time?
Well, I was living in North Carolina, and my youngest 2 sons were in North Carolina with me. We had a family meeting, their wives and me, and I explained to them that I had stage 2 breast cancer. Cancer is such a horrible word. When you hear it, especially coming from your loved ones, the first thing you think of is, I'm going to lose this person due to this horrible cancer.
Right.
But God doesn't give us the spirit of fear. So that's when my fight began. I am not fighting for me. I am fighting for my children and my grandchildren and all those around me that I know that loves me, my village. I'm fighting for myself and my village. As far as my family here in Philadelphia, that's something you don't do over the phone. I had to fly back home. It was a week before my 53rd birthday. And I sat my family down and I told them that I have stage 2 breast cancer. And the question was the same question I get from everybody else. When did you feel the lump?
Mm-hmm.
I'm really honest about my cancer. And I'll tell anybody, if you feel anything wrong with your body, go immediately. Don't wait. I waited a year.
Wow.
They told me to come home. And I was like, oh no, I'm not leaving North Carolina. I'm staying here. And my sister Pamela said to me, your village is here in Philadelphia, and you're going to need your village. And I came home a year ago.
Okay.
Yes.
And it is important because you need to, and I've never had cancer. My dad has had cancer, and twice. And he did say the mindset makes such of a difference in your recovery process.
Yes.
Now, let's go back. So you felt this lump. Within that year, did you, and I understand you said you have diabetes and other underlying health issues. Within that year, did you notice any new health issues or anything that was raising a red flag? Like, okay, this is not associated with my diabetes. This is not associated with the other things that I'm used to going through. Did you feel different things, even though you are not diagnosed as of yet?
I did. I was very fatigued. I became extremely depressed because I was sick all the time. I was slower than usual. My mind was not as quick as it used to be. And I didn't know what was wrong. And I just associated with those other underlying health issues that I had. But I knew something was out of the ordinary. I cared for home health. I did home health care in North Carolina. And one of my patients was a lady, same age as I, and she had breast cancer. And I cared for her. Mm-hmm. She was terminal. She had an odor, and it wasn't a foul odor. It was just a distinct, unusual odor. And I started smelling it on me. And I just assumed, because I worked with her all the time, that I was just smelling this smell. But it became stronger. And it was the odor of cancer that I was smelling on myself.
Wow.
Red flags did come about. And I swatted them down every time.
Wow. Wow. So the doctors tell you you have stage 2 breast cancer.
Yes.
Walk me through the process of, do you have a consultation? Do they say to you, okay, we'll do chemo, we're going to have to operate? Like, did you have options, or did the doctor say to you, okay, listen, Miss Prophet, this is what we need to do. Boom, 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 boom. And were you obedient?
Woo. Again, like I said, everything went fast. My cancer was very aggressive. There was no, oh, well, let me get another consultation. It was, we need to have surgery immediately. Your cancer I have a mass underneath my breast that spread it to the lymph nodes underneath my arm. So there's now cancer in my breast and cancer in my lymph nodes. It was done immediately. Surgery was immediately. I have had my breast surgery. They did save the breast. They removed the mass underneath my breast, and they also removed 8 lymph nodes from underneath my arm that still had 8 of the lymph nodes had cancer cells still detected in them. Everything went fast. And it was aggressive. So I had time to think, but I had to react immediately. And I was very obedient, extremely obedient.
Not only did you have surgery,
but I was.
Good. So not only did you have surgery, did you have to do chemo as well?
So I did. After surgery, there was chemo. There was extensive chemo. I was in chemo at least 3 to 4 days a week, from 9 in the morning to 5 in the evening. Yeah, I had everything was rapid. It was fast. After chemo was radiation. Radiation was every day, Monday through Friday. Mentally, you have to have the mindset for chemo and radiation, because if you don't, you won't survive. You will not survive.
Wow. So is your cancer in remission now?
So my cancer is not in remission. My cancer is spreading. I have cancer across my breast, across my chest, and down my back. I am currently just returned to chemo, and I take a regimen of chemo medication at home with other medication to help stop the spread of my cancer. I'm not a quitter.
Right.
I'm a fighter. I am a strong, strong woman. I will never give up.
Right.
God has the last say so, but I'm going to fight.
Right. Right.
Yes.
So tell me something. I can tell your story a lot. That's great. You have an amazing, beautiful smile. So when people see you, what's the thing that they say to you? And then you say to yourself, okay, well, what does that mean?
So when I see people, and I start to tell them my story, they say, well, you don't look like you have cancer. And I usually say, well, what does that look like? Google it so I can see.
Right.
I refuse to look like what they say I have. I will never look that way.
That's awesome.
And I know there's people out here that you can look at them and say there's something wrong.
Mm-hmm.
I won't give in to that. I refuse. I won't. I get up in the morning and I'm tired and I'm in pain, but I get up and I could put on my cute pink and I go out and I smile. I smile all the time.
That's good.
And I tell my story to everybody, in the Uber driver, people in the pharmacy. I will tell it, because if it can reach one person, my heart is filled.
That's awesome.
I feel good. Yes.
So what words of encouragement would you have for that male or that female? Because males can also get breast cancer. What words of encouragement would you have for the male or female that was just diagnosed with breast cancer?
Okay. So I just want to share something with you that I wrote a long time ago when I was battling another crisis, which was domestic violence. And I wrote, in time, you will heal all this pain that you feel, and this too will come to pass. But right now, I know progress will be slow. But your reward is to grow into this wondrous person that you know, whose smile is so bright, and you have the light that you know you need to fight with all your might to achieve greatness in your life. And this pain that you feel, this too, it shall come to pass. I am extremely passionate about mental and physical care for men and women. Fear of the unknown can kill you. If you've discovered anything, please, please go get checked. Please.
That's beautiful. That's extremely beautiful. Where are you receiving treatment for your cancer?
At the wonderful, wonderful Fox Chase Temple Cancer Center. I have a phenomenal team. They call me every day. They check on me. I have an open door to them as they to me as far as my care. I am always told the truth. Nothing is never sugar-coated to me. And that's the way I like it.
That's awesome. Northwest Victim Services, as you know, I'm the executive director for Northwest Victim Services. We work very closely with Temple Hospital. I think they do amazing work. Of course, yes. Not with the that department, but those doctors are dynamic. They're very empathetic, and they're just great at what they do. So I'm glad you're receiving care at Temple University Hospital. So for those viewers, Yvette turned 54 on September the 29th, yes. And she was partying with her family, her children, her mom, her sisters. So she was just doing it up. And for those of you who may not know, that is, I'm sorry.
It's okay.
I'm sorry, I've never cried on my show. That has been such an inspiration to me. I've been knowing that since I was probably, about 14 or 15 years old.
Yes.
And I love you. And I just wish everything. I'm not going to wish. I pray that God will continue to bless you and that you will be well and that you will continue to inspire so many other people. You are extremely strong and you'll get through this.
Yes, yes.
So,
I got victory. I have the victory. Yes.
Yeah, which is awesome. So do they have support groups at Temple where all of the people who are dealing with cancer or who have been survivors, do they have peer support groups? Because I can imagine that is needed.
They do have it. Right now, it's via Zoom because of COVID and the compromised immune system that we as cancer patients have. So, of course, we guys have to be extremely careful. But yes, we do have resources for counseling, peer groups. They're there. They are offered to us. And they will come to us if we are reluctant and slow going and coming to them. They come to us.
Okay.
Yes,
Oh,
yes.
That's good. That's good. So now that you're here in Philadelphia, did the doctor say how long you will have to stay? Is there a chance that you'll move back to North Carolina and receive treatment there, or how will that work?
Well, I would love to leave tomorrow. Unfortunately, because of the spread of the cancer, I will be here until I am done.
Okay.
Until I'm cancer free. So however long that takes, I'm here.
Okay.
My Philadelphia cancer team.
Another question. Did you ever say to your doctor, or even when you got the second diagnosed with the cancer being in your chest and your back, Did you ever say to your doctor, are you putting a time frame, or are you saying that I only have a certain time to live? Did you ever ask your doctor that question?
Of course. Of course. I looked my oncologist right in her face and asked her, am I going to die? And she said, no, not from this cancer. The technology that we have, no, I won't die. I will live. I just have to go through.
Right. Right.
However long that takes. I'll be here. I'll be a survivor.
That's excellent. Yvette, I thank you so much for joining me. You are an inspiration to so many, and I ask that you keep telling your story wherever you go, whether people want to hear it or not, but keep telling your story and keep allowing that beautiful smile to be contagious so other people can smile during their trials and tribulations. Thank you so much for joining me today.
Thank you. And I want to thank Melany Nelson and Northwest Victim Services for allowing me to have this opportunity. And Ms. Nelson, as much as you love me, I love you back.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Breast cancer has affected so many people around the world. Please lean on your family members, friends, and your medical professionals to help you through the difficult times. I pray for your strength, and I pray for your courage for you to make it through each day. Peace and blessings.